How's it going? I want to share with you today a little recipe, something that a lot of my guests over time have found to be quite tasty and filling. It's a great comfort food. It's not very healthy, but most great comfort foods are not. But it is simple, and the difference between making it well and making it amazing has to do with a couple of secrets that I'm going to share with you today. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a stuffed baked potato. And when I say stuffed, I mean stuffed. A lot of the materials I'm going to use, not necessarily what you have to use. The filling of the potato is really not what makes it special. What you'll fill it with is whatever you like, but I will be filling it with what I like. The secrets lie in the foundation, how you prepare the potato, how you lay out the bed of potato meat, and how you layer your fillers in there. So we're going to go through all these things and teach you how I do it. And if you want to try it, you can. One thing I do want to note, I'll be talking about various products here. I'm not sponsored by anybody, so if you see a brand name, it's just what I bought at the store. So first of all, I want to show you right up here the main ingredients we have for our potato. We have the potato itself. Now, one of the things you want to make sure of is when you go buy your potatoes, you're not just buying a bag of potatoes, because inside there are some, medium-sized potatoes, nothing extraordinary. What you want is something nice and big and fat. So you have to buy the single potatoes. Just go buy them. Just go look and find the ones you want. So we have a potato, we have salt and pepper, we have butter and sour cream, we have Velveeta cheese. Some people may say it's not cheese. It's probably not, and it's not very good for you, but it is something that's fundamental when you're making a dish like this. Shredded cheese. Now you can buy better quality cheese. I just bought some quick pre-shredded stuff. I'm not a foodie. I just like to make things that taste good. So, I buy bagged shredded cheese because I'm lazy. What else do we have? I like broccoli in mine, so I have broccoli florets. Bacon. Is that it? Potato, butter, sour cream, broccoli, cheese, more cheese, bacon, sour cream, more cheese. You'll get the picture in a minute as I prepare this for you. But we'll go through it step by step, and like I said, there's certain secrets I'm going to let you in on that I have learned over time, and we'll get it rolling for you. Now, the first thing you need to understand is you cannot serve a dirty potato. Potato that has dirt on the skin results in grit. It's not very nice. Can't taste it, but you don't know what else is in that dirt. So clean off your potato really well. Let's start there. All right, now we have our freshly washed potato. I do want you to note this is a russet potato. I'll explain the reason why I prefer russet potatoes when I get to the proper point, because it is one of the secrets. So at this point now, we have this potato. It's washed. We have to prepare it for cooking. Many people wrap these in foil and put them in the oven and bake them forever. And I'm afraid I don't have that kind of patience. I have developed a technique for cooking them in the microwave that is very effective. It takes about 7 to 9 minutes, and comes out with a really good product. So we're going to go ahead and show you that process now. What I tend to do is I take the potato and I puncture it. I have this meat fork. It's got nice long, very sharp tines, and it enables me to puncture pretty deeply into the potato. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Now, typically potatoes have a fat side and a skinny side. You can feel the difference if you feel the potato. This is the fat side on this one. This is the skinny side. What I tend to do is go vertically on the skinny side, and you'll see I probably put the fork in 2/3 of the way, and just put a nice row down the side. Three punctures there on the other skinny side. Just a nice row of punctures. I also put one in each end. Now, on the fat side, I do it this way. And I'll tend to do, I don't know, just maybe 4 of those. Flip it over. Okay, now this potato is now ready for microwaving. We're going to set the microwave on high and do this for 5 minutes. And while this is doing its initial cook, we will go ahead and cube up the Velveeta. Alright, so the Velveeta I got is 2%. I normally don't. I mean, in my opinion, why bother scrimping on the unhealthy stuff if you're clearly making an unhealthy meal? So normally I don't get 2%. I use whole milk, I use real butter, all that stuff. So basically what I do is I go ahead and melt the whole block. I don't necessarily will use the whole block, but I don't want to run short, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and cube this up and get ready to melt this. Now, of course, the microwave is in use by the potato. We will melt this while we are preparing the potato. All right? I tend to use a butter knife to cut my Velveeta because it cuts it just fine. But the sharp knives, I don't know, for some reason, they tend to start catching, and instead of slicing through the Velveeta, we'll just kind of grab it and break it. All right, so here we go. I'm just going to cut suitable size for cubing. So you see how easily that goes in. You don't need a sharp knife for this, and I do believe that the not sharp knife works a little better. So let's go, we're going to go this way. Okay. And we're going to go this way. And what we now have is a cubed block of Velveeta, which we will now put in this. This is an old Pyrex bowl. It is, what is this? Corningware. Corningware, do you recognize the emblem? It's one of my favorite bowls for cooking in and eating cereal out of as well. Oh yeah. Alright, so basically we're just breaking up the cubes. And what we will do is put a little bit of whole milk in this. And when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit. Because if you put more than a little bit, the cheese will not be creamy, it will be runny, and just makes for not a very good potato. Now this is warm. It's of course been sitting out on the shelf and is very practically melts at room temperature. Alright, if you remember I said a little milk. This is how little milk I mean. You can always add more milk, but you can't take it away once you add it. Just a little dash. And I will now just kind of mix it around just to kind of coat the cheese. Okay, so we're going to put that in the microwave when the potato's done. But in the meantime, we have to wait for the potato to finish. So we're going to go through that process here, finishing up the cooking of the potato, and once that's done, we will be well on our way to producing our ultimate stuffed potato. So come on back in a minute, and we'll move on from there. So of course, that beeping means that the first 5 minutes is finished. So we'll do our first check. Open it up, we're going to give it a feel. Now it's hot, but it's still hard. It is starting to get soft. Now, you just give it a good, not a hard squeeze, but enough to get a feel for the inside. What we're going to do is we're going point now, if I did not have a rotary, I would do it every 30 seconds, turning it every 30 seconds. I have a rotary, so I'm going to put it for a minute, and we'll see how it is after a minute. All right, so there's another minute. We're going to give it another squeeze. Woo! It will be hot. Promise you that. Okay, I'm feeling the meat, the flesh, beginning to get a little soft. I think, flip it one more time. I'm going to hit it for 30 seconds this time, this microwave. So that's one of the things about working with microwaves. Everyone's going to be different. So you just kind of get a feel for it. This is the first time I've cooked a potato in this. It's doing really well. So we're going to give it 30 seconds. At this point, we're doing it 30 seconds at a time, because the biggest tragedy you can do when you're making a potato is to overcook it in the microwave, because then the skin comes out like leather, and that's, nobody wants that, anything to do with that. All right, there's another 30. Okay, so almost, just watch it, and then flip it. Okay, so this will be the last time. So total cook time on this was about 7 minutes. All right, I believe it's going to be ready. Let's take a look. Okay, so I can feel when I squeeze it, there's give to the meat, and I can feel that it's give all the way to the core. If you feel it and it feels like it's just the edge giving, it's not ready. If you can feel it and it feels like the whole thing is starting to give, it's perfect. Now make no mistake, this is going to be very, very hot. So take care when you pull it out. All right, here we go. We're about to reveal secret number 1 to you. This is how you actually open up the potato and prepare it to receive the goodness. So I have gone ahead and placed the potato in this Pfaltzgraff bowl. Stoneware can handle the heat. So we're going to use this and begin. I will explain step by step exactly how I do this. Ready? So here's the potato. You take the fork, you make like a dotted line perforation down the middle. You don't cut the potato. Many people cut the potato and just leave it as 2 halves. No, do not do that. I've perforated the edge about down to the middle of the potato. Then at the 4 corners of the potato, on opposite sides of this line, I will push. Now it's hot, make no mistake. You got to man up. Push, push. And what it does is it starts to separate the meat from the skin. This is secret number 2. Russet potatoes have a nice skin that will maintain the shape and allow you to get in and remove the meat from the skin so that you can have that for a nice fluffy innard. All right? So I am carefully working my way around the skin to remove as much of this meat from the skin as I can. Okay? This potato is perfectly done. Now, my skin did break a little bit, that's okay. But for the most part, and dig in all the way to the bottom and break up the meat and make it fluffy. Now I've got a little bad spot there we're going to take out. And what you'll see is you'll have this nice fluffiness here in the middle. Okay? Next, butter. I tend to use probably a good tablespoon, a good pat of butter. I'll just grab some with my fork there, plop it right there into the meat. The meat's very hot. It's still perfect for melting the butter. Now, salt and pepper to taste. Okay, a little salt, a little ground pepper. Okay? And now we will mix a little bit very gently to get the butter to melt as much as possible. Now we don't want to disrupt the shape of our potato. It's important aesthetically to keep our potato as potato-like as possible. But look how open it is and how, okay. So now the inside is getting nice and buttery, all of it. This is secret number 2. Now, secret number 3, I will take this and I will now begin to build my potato from the top down, but from the bottom up. The last thing I would normally put on the potato is sour cream. So that's the first thing I'm going to put on. Just a nice dollop of sour cream right there. And again, mix it in. That makes sure that the flavor that you're wanting is going to last from the top all the way throughout the entire potato. The next thing I need is the Velveeta. So I have to melt that. I don't know that I need to explain how to melt Velveeta. I did mix in a little bit of milk, and we're going to cook it. I usually cook it a minute the first time, and then 30 seconds at a pop. And okay, so let's do that. So, once the Velveeta is done, we will add the next thing. As I said, we're building the layers as they would be from the top. So the next thing I'm going to put on here is cheese. Now I'm going to put a little bit of shredded cheese here to melt, because the potato meat is still hot. This is normally one of the last things I would put on. So we're going to just put a little layer of shredded cheese, and then on top of that, we're going to put a layer of the melted cheese. Now I also bought some microwavable broccoli florets. The grocery store I shop at used to have the bricks of florets you could boil. They've gone strictly to microwave, so it should be fine. But I'm microwaving that now because it needs to be ready. Because if it's not ready, and I pour my first layer of liquid Velveeta, and then had to go make the broccoli, then the Velveeta will congeal while I'm making the broccoli. So we're making the broccoli. We'll be right back and finish up. Super exciting. Okay, so we have the Velveeta melted, we have the broccoli ready. Let's go ahead and finish off here. I'm just going to pour a little base of some melted cheese, and we want to get it around the outside because, you know, when you get to the bottom of a baked potato and there's nothing of the goodness to go with it, it can be not so tasty. So, layer of cheese and the broccoli. Now, right now this is hot. I'm going to pack this in really good. Okay. That is now a massively packed broccoli bowl. And we're going to cover that with the melted cheese. Alright, as I said, I wasn't going to use all of the cheese, but I used quite a bit. I will now cover that with shredded cheese. And a little more sour cream. And finally some chopped up bacon, and we will be done with our masterpiece. And there we have it. This, my friends, is my ultimate stuffed potato. It's delicious. It's filling. The mysteries have now been revealed. You can go make this on your own, and I hope you do. And I hope you really enjoy it when you have it. For those of you who have had it, when you do eat it, think of me and remember me fondly. All right? That's it. We'll see you next time, and thanks for coming by.